This week, you are going to be working on your term project, milestone number 1. And so what you are going to be turning in is very, very similar to the second part of the textbook assignment for Chapter 10, where we had the Excel spreadsheet that we kind of split into tables, and we did the ER diagram. That is basically what you're going to be doing for this part of the term assignment or the milestone project. So here are the directions. You actually have to figure out what kind of database you want to create for your final project. And I do have some kind of generic examples for you to take a look at. Okay, and then you saw the examples from last week. I also have some videos that you can watch. I went through this process and did my own little table. And so here's my workbook that I developed, which is equivalent to what you have to hand in. And here is my ER diagram. So those are examples of what you need to turn in. And then here are videos that show you how I make it. And this video, actually, I walk through the process of developing this, and I think it will help you in developing your own. So you need to decide what kind of database you're going to create. And then in Excel, you need to enter one table per sheet. Okay, so what I mean by that, we can take a look at this example. So these are sheets, and each one of these represent a different table. So you need to do one table per sheet. And then for each of your tables, you're going to make up data for at least 5 rows. Now, sometimes, you may not have 5 rows worth of data. And that's okay. If you have like a category table, maybe you only have 3 categories. That's okay. Most of the time, you can come up with at least 5 rows. You need to have around 6 tables. And, usually we can get 6 out of it. Zip code can always be a table, and it can connect to any kind of customer or business address. And you should also pay attention to primary and foreign keys. You need a one-to-many relationship or a one-to-one. And in your tables, you'll identify the primary key as PK. And then if you have a foreign key, which I'm pretty sure I have over here, you can identify those with FK. So we got the primary key and the foreign keys. Oh, and when you're entering data, if it's a foreign key, that means that over here under location, these are the only numbers that you can enter. So I've got IDs 1 through 6, and those are the only numbers that I can enter here, okay, because they have to exist in the location table. And same with the customer IDs. The only customer numbers I can enter here are the customers that actually exist. And that kind of makes sense. So just make sure you kind of watch out for that, because you're going to be using that data that you've entered to actually enter data into your real tables that you're going to be developing in Milestone 2. Let's see. Once you're done with the spreadsheet, obviously you're going to upload it, and then you can do your ER diagram. And that'll be similar to how you did them last week. And you will upload that as well. And the error diagram obviously will be on your own tables. And so you can see I do have examples for you to look at. And this is how you are going to be scored. Now, I don't expect this to be perfect. So you will get all of the points for turning it in, okay? Even if it's not perfect. What I do is I go through and I will show you how to fix any problems that you have. Okay, and you will need to fix the problems before we get to milestone 2. Um, so I can meet with you in person in Zoom. Uh, we can meet in my live stream office hours, or we can schedule an appointment outside of office hours. I can also simply just create a video walking through your project, um, showing you what the problems are and how to fix them. And then if I do that, what I actually go through and fix them for you, and I will email your spreadsheet back to you. But the key here is that we have to get any problems resolved before we move on to our next milestone. Okay, so don't worry if it's not perfect, because we can fix it. But you do have to turn something in. You have to give me something to work with. So I have something that I can look at and fix if it needs fixing. Okay. Um, so the only other thing we have to do this week is a discussion. And one of our learning outcomes for this class is it deals with legal and ethical issues of data sharing and how that impacts database design, data availability, and the individual's right to privacy. So those 3 topics. So what I want you to do is research one of them, post links to at least 3 sites that you researched, and then summarize the legal or ethical issues. And then what I'd like you to do is basically post a summary of potential solutions. So we've got these issues, we've got these problems. How do you think we should fix them? Okay, and then indicate what approach you think is best. And then once everybody has posted, you will reply to 2 of your classmates. And because this used to be a paper that you had to write, I changed it into a discussion. It is worth a lot of points. So make sure you complete this. Okay, and if you have questions or problems, please let me know and have a great week.